In a church in central Italy, there is a piece of human flesh. It is roughly 1,300 years old. It has never been embalmed, never frozen, never treated with a single preservative. By every law of biology, it should have rotted to dust 1,000 years ago. It did not. And in 1971, a doctor placed it under a microscope and found something he could not explain. This is the story of the flesh that refuses to die. The year is somewhere around 750 AD. The place is Lanciano, a small town near the Adriatic coast, built on Roman bones. In a modest church dedicated to two early saints, a community of Eastern monks keeps the daily Mass. One of them is a priest, and that priest has a secret. He no longer believes. He performs the ritual every morning. He lifts the bread. He speaks the ancient words. But in his heart, he has decided it is only bread, only wine, a symbol, nothing more. For a man who has given his entire life to God, this is not a small doubt. It is the quiet collapse of everything. One morning, he says the words of consecration, the same words he has spoken 1,000 times. And according to those who were there, the bread in his hands stops being bread. It becomes flesh. The wine in the cup darkens and thickens into blood. Then the blood separates, slowly, into 5 irregular globules. The priest who had lost his faith is said to have wept before the altar. The town never let the relics go. Here is where the story should end. A medieval legend, a pious tale told and retold, then forgotten. Except for one inconvenient fact. The flesh stayed. For 1,200 years, through wars, through invasions, through the rise and fall of empires, the relic of Lanciano was passed from hand to hand, church to church, order to order. It was moved, it was hidden, it was displayed, and it never decayed in the way that flesh decays. No preservation technique of the ancient or medieval world could account for that. Organic tissue, left in open air for centuries, does one thing. It corrupts, it collapses, it returns to dust. This did not. By the 20th century, the relic sat in a silver monstrance in Lanciano, 5 globules of blood and a round of brownish flesh, looked at by pilgrims and dismissed by skeptics for generations. Until someone finally asked the obvious question, what is it, actually? In November of 1970, the Archbishop of Lanciano and the Franciscan friars who guarded the relic made a decision that most legends never survive. They handed it to science. With the Vatican's permission, the examination was given to Dr. Odoardo Linoli, head of clinical analysis and pathological anatomy at the Hospital of Arezzo, and a professor of anatomy, histology, and clinical microscopy. He was assisted by Dr. Ruggero Bertelli of the University of Siena. These were not clergymen looking for a miracle, they were pathologists looking at a sample. On the 4th of March 1971, Linoli presented his findings, and the findings were strange. The flesh was real flesh, human flesh, not just any tissue, it was muscle from a heart, the myocardium. Under the microscope, he reported seeing the structures of a living heart, the endocardium, the wall of the left ventricle, even the vagus nerve. The blood was real blood, human blood. And when he typed it, the blood returned a result, type AB. Then he tested the flesh. The flesh was type AB as well, the same blood, as if the heart and the blood had come from one single body. And he reported no preservatives of any kind, nothing injected, nothing added. A piece of a human heart that, according to the pathologist who examined it, had never been embalmed. The priest of Lanciano doubted that bread could become a body. 13 centuries later, a pathologist looked through a lens and found a heart. Whatever you believe about how it got there, one fact remains uncomfortable for everyone. It is still there, and it is still a heart. There are more of these than you think. Across the centuries, the Church counts over 100 Eucharistic events it has judged worthy of belief. Lanciano was only the first. In the next one we examine, the blood was tested in our own lifetime, and the man who ordered that test would one day become Pope. If you want to follow these where the evidence leads and where it runs out, stay with us.